Hi, how you doing? Luke Tarbutton here with Shoot Perfect. Well, you asked for them, so here they come. We're going to give y'all some instructional videos on taking your guns apart, hunting gear, what to wear, what not to wear, scent stuff, all that kind of stuff coming up. But today, because we were able to get a couple pigs on the ground, we got this little girl right here, and we're going to show y'all how to quarter a pig today. We're going to break it apart and do just a couple of videos here, and put them together so that way y'all get some instruction on that. As you can see, we've already gutted her out, cleaned her out, let her drain, hang, got the blood cavity all empty here. An important thing to remember when you're gutting and cleaning pigs, do your best not to puncture those organs, because you can gall the meat, meaning that the bile and all the fluids and stuff that are inside those organs will taint the flavor of that meat, and that's the one thing you're looking not to do. Out here in East Texas and in most of your other rural areas, your pigs are eating pine cones, pine root, pine straw, all that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure none of that stuff gets into that meat. You want to bleed all that out. That's your goal. Also, while you're doing this, is a pro tip, all right? Make sure you pay close attention. When you're cutting that hide back, when you accidentally cut a big hole in the hide, let everybody know that that's a pro thing so you can get a good finger hole grip when you're pulling that hide back. How you doing? We're back. All right, so one thing you're gonna look for is you're gonna look for your cuts. You got your front shoulders, you got your hams in the back. You're gonna cut this whole section off here. You're gonna cut your ribs out. Now, one thing you wanna make sure you're careful with, if you look in here, these are your tenderloins right in here. When you're going in there and cutting them out, you wanna do your best to get every ounce of meat out of there from that. Back here on this back side, you got your back strap running along each side of the vertebrae right here. You wanna cut those out. This is gonna be your steaks right here. You're gonna make your steaks out of those. Everything else you can turn into sausage, you can make your hams out of it, you can do what you want to do with it. But the important thing is knowing where to cut. If you look right here, you can see how there's a natural separation. There's a natural separation right here where it's going to allow you to come up in it and cut. And you'll be able to separate these pieces of meat out because it's built that way. When God designed these things, he designed them with places for you to cut for a reason. So, cut them out, quarter it out, and then you're gonna ice it in water. We'll show you that next. All right, now we got her all quartered up. We got everything done. On the ends, you got your legs, your rear legs. These are hams. You see all the meat in there is real good. One thing you want to make sure you do is you want to cut around that ball joint, so that way you're not breaking any bone or anything like that. So it really does make a much cleaner meat. So we throw that in the ice. Now I'm sure y'all are noticing these are dirty. We are going to wash them off and we're going to cut all this sinew off. But first thing, we got to bleed the rest of that blood out of there. You can see there's still some blood in here. Right here, we want to bleed all that out. We also want to tenderize the meat, because right now it's a little bit tough, so we want to tenderize it. So we're going to throw a tenderizer in there. Then you got your front shoulders, scapula coming up right here. You want to cut, see that sinew? That's where you cut, so you have a nice clean front shoulder. Goes in there. You got your ribs. Your ribs sometimes will have a hole in them. That's because we shoot animals. They don't die of heart attacks. So that hole right there is where the bullet went through. But you can see all this good meat on the top of it there. Now there's belly fat on the back of them. Right back here, that's where you get your bacon and stuff from. But this little girl, she's a little tiny for that. So we're not gonna cut that belly fat off. We're gonna leave it on there. There's the ribs. Then, right here, these are those things I was talking about that are up on the inside. Some people call them oyster steaks. Some people call them tenderloin. I've always heard them as tenderloin. But these right here are super, super tender, super good. You still need to cut that silver skin off when you're cleaning them up for service. You see they're dirty, we're gonna clean them out. But see all this blood in here? We gotta get all this blood out because they've been eating a lot of nastiness. And you want to get all that stuff out for your gamey flavor to get rid of, because them Yankees that come down to visit you from New York, they don't want to eat that stuff. So you got to be nice, be all things to all men. So right here, this is your back strap or pork loin, whatever you want to call it. That is a good chunk of meat. You're going to cut your steaks out of here so you got pork steaks. Throw all this in there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put that other bag of ice on top of it, fill it with water, and let it bleed out for a couple of days. Now, another pro tip. You use white vinegar. It'll draw that blood out and tenderize that meat. You rinse it, wash it, wash it for a couple of days. I like to do 3 to 4 minimum, and then you can go ahead and start processing your meat. We'll do another video where we process the meat and we put it in a grinder, and we vacuum pack it, and we spice it in different ways, showing y'all how you can do all that, telling you where you can get all the necessary tools and stuff so you can start processing your own meat. Remember guys, train safe, train often, do it right.